At MedsPLUS Consulting Pharmacy and Wellness Center, you're not just a number. We offer individualized care for each of our patients, plus prescription delivery and medication management.
Bringing the pharmacist back to the community, MedsPLUS Consulting Pharmacy and Wellness Center.
Hey everybody, hello. I am Dr. Pauline, and welcome to this week's MedsPLUS Medical Minute. Before we get started, I want to ground today's conversation in what we're seeing right now. We've discussed this before. I think I did a TikTok on it last week. But according to the CDC, flu activity is increasing across the country with the emergency department visits, urgent care visits for flu-like illnesses is above what we typically see this time of year. And when I did the TikTok, I told everybody that flu activity was low. This was maybe a week or two ago, but after the holidays, we would see an uptick in flu activity. And here we are. I'm not I don't have hypnosis or anything like that. But I'm not a psychic, but this is what we see. What we're seeing now is typically influenza type A, specifically the H3N2 strain. And it's important to note that this particular flu virus that's going around is not really a good match to what was in the vaccine. So with that being said, we're going to talk about ways to mitigate getting the virus. If you do come in contact, what you can do, all those things. We're going to talk about that today on the MedsPLUS Medical Minute. So y'all know Dr. Jennifer was not here last week. Well, now we'll tell you why. Tell them why, Dr. Jennifer.
Well, everyone, I was diagnosed with influenza A, and that's one of the prevalent strains going around right now.
That's right. So she was not here because she had the flu, y'all. So today we're going to talk about, what she experienced, what to look for, the whole nine. But I just want to let everybody know it's still important to get the flu vaccine. But nothing is 100% effective. But the flu vaccine is made to minimize your risk of getting the virus, to minimize the effect of the virus on your system, and to keep you out of the hospital. That is why we are here. So, Jennifer, tell us about your initial symptoms. What did you say? Okay, something's not right.
Yes, and that's typically the way you described it. That's what you ask yourself. Something's not right. So I became more fatigued. So I'm drinking a little bit more caffeine. I'm a coffee drinker. I also do another type of drink that has caffeine in it, small amount. So trying to keep up with the demands of the day, all of the activities planned. I started trying to do a little bit more caffeine, and then I noticed this isn't working. Something's not right. So when I would go home, I would go to bed a little bit earlier thinking, okay, I just need a few more hours of sleep. Wake up the next morning, still push through. I'll be okay once I do this. And it started with the fatigue, and that was a week ago Monday.
So starting with fatigue. So I think it's important here to tell everybody that you may not have cough and cold symptoms. You may not have the scratchy throat or the fever, the muscle aches initially. It may be something else, or you may be like Dr. Jennifer, where you felt a little bit more tired. And I think that may be one of the reasons why it's spreading so rapidly, because people are thinking, oh, I'm just a little extra tired. It's the holidays. I did this, I did that, not thinking that it may actually be the flu.
Exactly. So started pushing through, doing activities, doing a diabetes education session. So I'm constantly moving. We were doing 2 classes. And, we'll talk about the night air, the this, the that. Nah, that wasn't it. Then I finally realized, wait a minute, I'm getting extremely cold and extremely hot, which is not unusual for me considering my age. However, it would get to the point to where I was getting so cold that my teeth would start to chatter a little bit. And then it's like I'm holding myself and trying to warm up. And it was difficult for me to warm up. So then that was followed by the body aches. And I didn't mount a fever. The highest my fever got was maybe 100, if that, 100.4, I think. And once I noticed that, I said, well, let me take some Aleve or naproxen because that's my go-to. That really wasn't hitting it. It wasn't until I started taking Tylenol that I really started to see a difference. So as I was taking the Tylenol, I would see a difference in the chills and the fever. But as soon as it started to wear off, I would start to feel the symptoms again. So I was like, wait a minute now, something else is going on. So I had one more activity to do. And Pauline was like, and I said, well, the day before, I said, you know what? It was that day where I felt like I needed to be at home. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go that morning, do what I need to do, and then go home. I did that. And Pauline said, well, why don't you stop by, the urgent care and get checked out. She didn't say tested. She said, get checked out. So I went to the urgent care. True enough, influenza A. And because I had waited too many days to go get checked out, I was not eligible for the Tamiflu or the Sofluza, those that will help mitigate the symptoms, decrease the time you have it. So after that day, I went home, quarantined myself on another floor, but did receive very good care from my husband, for which I am very, very grateful.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things I want to bring out there. Number one, we all know Dr. Jennifer is a healthcare professional, guys. And so the fact that she went several days, not really feeling bad, but not really feeling herself, lets you know that this flu is something that, and you are contagious during this time. So it's important to note if you feel anything that's different, especially in the environment that we're currently in, get tested. And, I was going to share this for later, but these home tests, we actually have them here at MedsPLUS. It wouldn't harm you to have some of these around your house so that you can, if you're exposed or you start feeling a little bit different, you can catch it early, because early detection opens you up for treatment. As Jennifer said, Tamiflu, Sofluza. Early detection can also help decrease the transmission, because once you test positive, you need to quarantine yourself from other people. So just think about, with all the activities that you had, how many people you could have potentially infected during that time. I know. I mean, and
I think about that. And my husband, he gets at me all the time. He said, Jennifer, you know better. I said, I know, but, and it's, that's what we do as women, as anybody. And, this has definitely opened my eyes to where I've got to do better.
Exactly. So take care of yourselves. The flu is here. For any of you who thought that, they're not telling the truth on the news, so on and so forth, ask an emergency room provider, whether it's the nurse, the receptionist. Look at your urgent cares, drive by and look at the parking lots. Flu is here. And there are some people who are testing in those places. There are some people who are testing at home using devices like this. So it's here. So let's talk about the recovery and any residual symptoms. So you start feeling kind of run down. You push through, did the rest of your task. You decided to go get tested. You've now recovered. Are you having any residual symptoms? What does your recovery look like?
So I would say, as far as the symptoms, when it's kind of like your mind plays a trick on you, or once you know you have something, you allow yourself to be still.
Yes.
And as I allowed myself to be still and I laid there, oh my goodness, the headache, the body aches, the chills, the fever, all of that. And it was like it was just radiating But like I said, the Tylenol helped, and making sure I stayed hydrated. I went to one of the electrolyte drinks, two different types that I drink. And in between, I was doing water. But there were some days I couldn't eat at all. So it was very important to make sure that I get the electrolytes in. And one of the things that was key for the provider that I saw, they told me, make sure you're drinking the electrolyte drinks because your immune system needs that to help to fight the infection. So sometimes we forget about that. And as I was able to eat, of course, I did it in small amounts. And then gradually, appetite started to come back. So residual symptoms is I was in the house for so long. I've never been in the house for that long. The first time I went to the store, I told my husband, I got overwhelmed. I had to go home. And it was a combination of that and then energy. And it was like, okay, you got to pace yourself. You got to slow down. Things that you would normally do, you're not able to do right now. So then I said, well, let me just stay home. So I started doing small tasks at home. I would get tired, then I would rest. And then I may or may not do something else again, or each day I gradually try to do a little more. I do have a spin bike at home. So, I would try to get on there and just, not be aggressive, but just trying to build my strength back up. But yeah, I feel in my mind, I'm 100%, but physically, I know I'm not quite there. But I am going to push it. I am going to the gym tonight because I miss it.
Yeah. But I think that's important to talk about, especially as we talk about recovery. Well, things to remember for flu in general, and we'll start wrapping this up. But first thing is mitigate the virus. How do you do that? Protect yourself, hand washing, masking. We were masked up during COVID. And the flu numbers were actually really, really low during COVID. Why? Because they're respiratory viruses. And if you have your face covered and you're asymptomatic, you're not having symptoms like Jennifer felt those first couple of days, you may not know you have it, but you do, and you're still able to spread it. I saw a couple people out as I was finishing up Christmas shopping who had on masks. And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So if you have masks left over from COVID, or even if you want to go out and buy a couple during this heightened period, definitely consider that. And we will always talk about flu vaccine. Again, it's not 100% effective, but it can decrease the severity of your disease and also decrease your sick time, help you get better faster. Another thing to remember, if you notice any symptoms from the fatigue, maybe the sore throat, the headache, don't wait it out. Act early. Go ahead and get a test. And again, we do have these at MedsPLUS. If you'd like to stop by and pick up one, we're here downtown. If you want one delivered, give us a call and we'll deliver one to you. But test yourself and act early, because the antivirals for flu are best within the first 48 hours of symptoms. Jennifer wasn't able to get that treatment because her symptoms had been longer than 48 hours. Seek guidance on testing antivirals and symptom relief. Jennifer talked about taking Tylenol. Naproxen didn't really help. But there are other things you can do. Vitamin C, vitamin D, things that help strengthen your immune system. There are things you can do to help strengthen your immune system. And then the last point is allow your body the time it needs to rest and recover. Jennifer, you called or maybe text or something.
Monday night.
Like, I'm gonna come in. I was like, why? No, ma'am.
I didn't argue.
Right. No, you don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be, superwoman. Take the time you need to rest and recover, because even after your symptoms are gone, your immune system is still having to recover from the battle that it had to fight in fighting the flu virus. And most importantly, remember that your downtown pharmacist, Dr. Jennifer, Dr. Pauline, can serve as a resource for you. Whether you need the antiviral medications, if you need testing or masks, If you need these things, call us, let us know, and we will get them to you. We're here not only to help prevent illness, but to help you manage symptoms, choose the right medications, and support your recovery if you are exposed to the flu. So Jennifer, just give them any closing thoughts you have on this flu epidemic that we're having.
My closing thoughts would be, don't wait, test. If you feel off, you feel tired, you feel weak, you feel like you're dragging, just pick up a test and test yourself. If you can't get into your doctor, which most of the times you don't need to, don't forget the urgent cares that are out there. But above all, stay hydrated. Make sure you're eating as healthy as you can and taking your vitamins. Actually, that does help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all, flu is here. And here's the kind of unfortunate thing about it being here so hard and early. Alabama typically has a late flu surge, February, March. So this may not be it. So again, if you've not had the flu vaccine, it's still time to get the flu vaccine. If you're not taking any supplements or vitamins to help support your immune system, now is the time to start doing that, so that if we have that late winter surge, you are protected against the flu. So we want to thank y'all so much for joining. Oh, and then yes, wash your hands. Mask if you need to, especially if you're going out into crowded events. I know the Birmingham Bowl is it today, tomorrow?
What's today? It's today.
It's today. Yeah. Birmingham Bowl is today. There's some people who will be going to the Rose Bowl to see Alabama play. If you're in large crowds, you need to be protected against the flu. So can't say it enough. Protect yourself. This is this week's MedsPLUS Medical Minute. If you have any additional questions or you need anything from us, we can be reached here at our pharmacy, 205-650-4636. We will see y'all next week. And we want to wish everybody a happy and safe New Year's Day. Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
At MedsPLUS Consulting Pharmacy and Wellness Center, results matter. Empower your health journey with a pharmacy that puts you first. Plus, we offer prescription delivery and medication management.
Bringing the pharmacist back to the community. MedsPLUS Consulting Pharmacy and Wellness Center.